My name is Memo Blaxicano, man, and I'm from South Central Los Angeles. Growing up in South Central is heavy, bro. Sometimes, like, you know, friends of yours are not around anymore. These are stark things that, like, young kids gotta go through around here in South Central. Is different. LA is, like, got its own little boroughs, kind of like New York, where, like, different areas kind of treat you different. Like, South Central, police treat you different. Everybody, the vibe is different. But it's beautiful, too. Like, there's beautiful parts of South Central. Like, there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of, you know, little situations that's not going on in other areas. Parts that are beautiful, like the cultural parts of this, of South Central. So my mom is half Samoan. You know, obviously I got Mexican and my dad's black. Growing up, period, like mixed period in South Central. It was like actually a social norm against that for a minute, like, you know. It's kind of how it was in the black and brown community for a minute on that type of mixing each other like that. But now it's kind of like, it's more regular than anything. Like I see like black and brown couples all the time, you know. You mix kids everywhere now, but it wasn't cool at first. It was not cool. Kids in school tell you straight up that you're weird. Like they're like, you're weird. What are you? You know, like why you talk like that? You know, I'm like, bro, you grew up like this. What you mean? I'm into a lot of stuff, and it's hard to even put like a title on what I do because I'm into so many different things. Like I'm involved in so many different things in the city. Period. Like in the lowrider culture and music. Like I'm talking about old music, like funk and oldies and stuff like that. Like I've curated this community of a younger crowd of the next generation of lowriders. So that's important. There's a lot of older guys who were around too, like who have been doing that for a long time. But I curated this new crowd, new generation of the kids that are going to be the next generation of lowriders, and just that whole old school style, you know. Keeping that alive. Like just being a staple of LA was a big deal to me. Like being a staple of, like, you know, kind of how like you can't say LA without this, you know, Kobe, or you used to, like even just the Staples Center, or, you know, I'm involved in a lot of stuff in the city. Like with a lot of artists, with a lot of, like I gave a lot of artists their first start at Night of the Blaxican. Just like anywhere else, like in the event space, there's like a political like battleground, like where certain bands want to only mess with like this promoter, or certain groups only want to, you know, you just gotta kind of like kick the door down like I did. Like nobody came down and was like, hey, like, you know, you are doing that. I kicked the door down and just kept kicking it down. Like every time they wouldn't let me do something, I just kicked it down again, like harder. Because like I started Night of the Blaxican because me and my friends, we were young. I was 19 when I started, and like events and house parties, like somewhere in between both of them, I started doing like both of them. We started doing them because the older guys, they didn't f with us, and they just didn't f with the fact that these young kids was trying to with that old style, period, like that whole scene of the soul scene and the funk scene. There was no space for us, so we made the space for us, you know, like where could we go where it's young people our age who listen to the type of music we listen to and do the type of shit that we do, the whole old school vibe. Like there is nothing like that right now. So let's make it, and like let's make that place for it. Like that's what we ended up doing. We made that space for ourselves, you know. It's just been 6, almost 7 years probably now. So we're right here at the Pico Rivera Sports Arena with Avenue 26. Yeah, we're going to the other side now. This is where Avenue 26 usually has their market now. Trying to build something here, man, for the, you know, for the community. Something big that could be as big as the LA Fair or any of the other festivals that come to LA, you know. Something that's homegrown though. That's what we're trying to do here. Yeah, man, shout out the arena for letting us even come through with Avenue 26. It smells like horse in here. That's it. Come to the event. Come through. Chocolate has been in every liquor store. I have friends that are not from LA, and when they come to LA and they trip out that at every liquor store, it's like, you know, like t-shirts even in the store, like a bodega type situation. you know, if we went to New York or something, like that's kind of how it is right here. Like any liquor store in South Central, at least in the ghetto, like we have shirts, socks, everything right there in the liquor store. You know, it makes no sense to other parts of LA, but you know, down here it makes sense. Classic LA shit, like you know, going to the fucking store and you just go buy a fucking shirt and so, you go buy a fucking Arizona shirt.
I've been here all day though, like just making sure everything was good. I can't believe that it's really happening type shit. And almost waiting for people to come. I guess now the doors open a little bit. Maybe I don't even know what time it is now, but the doors open a little bit.
Chaka big time over the rest. You can tell that this is like family situation. Like you can just tell that versus the way that the rest even promote and the way that they even have been moving lately too. I like you know, plain tees. That's some LA shit. White forces, white tee, and a hat. Fucking we straight, you know. That's all I'm trying to do is preserve LA culture, like the way that I remember it, you know, the way that I see it, if anything. The city of LA is changing into a hub of like tourism. I don't like that. I like the parts of LA that have not changed too. Like change is cool, but I like classic shit, you know. I don't mean for things to not change, but we should keep it classic because we can, you know. I want everybody to remember, like when you bring up LA and when you bring up this classic shit, anything having to do with funk and oldies and just the whole scene of like that situation, I wanted my name to not be left out of that situation, you know. I was that young guy who went against the big guys. Like I was up there with the, you know, the big guys who throwing these festivals and stuff like that. And then, because for a long time, man, like they didn't give me the credit of doing what everybody else is doing, you know. Because at first we weren't doing venues and stuff. We were doing like parking lots and giant parking lots. You know, we were doing like thousands of people outside. You know, the rest of these event throwers was seeing us, like, you know, but they wouldn't give us the credit of like, you know, this is some legitimate situation. Now they're like, all right, this guy's been around for that long. It doesn't matter if it's whatever it is at this point. He's getting thousands of people out here every month. So, you know, they understand that this is part of LA culture at this point. Like this is a night of the Blaxican and me, period. You know, a lot of times black and brown people do stuff and they invent things and they, you know, are a big part of the culture and they just get pushed out of the situation. And especially me being just one dude, you know, young fucking guy, you know. Don't trip off of nothing, don't trip. That's my main thing, don't trip. Everybody on this planet just got here too. Nobody knows what's going on. This planet is billions of years old. Just do what you gotta do, man. Like, you know, nobody's right at all. Nobody's right. We just made it all up.
If you got me laughing, you got the only video of me laughing like in history. I appreciate Chaka looking at some real LA shit versus everything else that's going on in the city. I appreciate the recognition.
You gotta do what you love, man. Like I do what I love. I really do what I love. Like this is what I listen to. Like there would be no hip hop without doo-wop and soul. I gotta go back to the beginning to see how all this situation happened, you know. And I went to the beginning and I seen like, you know, these guys are the ones. Like these are all the doo-wop and funk and soul is what really is the backbone of everything that we have right now. You know, so